Tesla stock absolutely exploded here today. I thought I would just quickly react to kind of what's going on here, what's going to happen with Tesla stock kind of moving forward now at this point in time. Absolutely, obviously, massive move with Tesla stock. And it's shocking because today was a half day on Wall Street. A lot of Wall Street's on vacation right now. They weren't even, in the office trading, anything like that here today. And for Tesla to make this sort of move today on obviously the Elon Musk and Tesla news here, I mean, this is absolutely massive, right? I mean, it's almost a 7% move here today, guys. $30,000 we are up on Tesla stock in the public count here today. Absolutely massive, right? And I'll be honest, the move was bigger than I thought it was going to be today. I thought, after what the news that came out, I thought maybe a 3 to 4% move. I thought sounded about right for today, especially being in a half day and especially with a lot of Wall Street not being there. 7% is pretty darn surprising, okay? It was my third best stock here today, Tesla, right? Like Fubo, Planet outperformed those ones today, but those are such small caps that they can kind of move around. Of big cap, I mean, it was by far and away my best stock, right? At a 6% plus move. The next big cap, the closest thing I got to that today was Target at about a 2.2% move. So in regards to Tesla, okay, a few things matter quite significantly if you're trying to figure out kind of what's going on here, okay? Basically, with how strong deliveries came in and production numbers came in, Wall Street has to wake up now at this point in time, okay? And realize there's several different factors that happen here, okay? So part of Wall Street wakes up. Let's talk about the bears first, okay? A lot of the bears just got put to sleep. Let's just call it that, okay? They got pushed back to hibernation again. Some of the bears start to come out every once in a while and kind of start saying, oh, Tesla has no demand, or, they're not going to have production, or they're not going to have deliveries, or whatever, okay? And for Tesla to just come in and beat everybody's expectations, even bulls on Wall Street, right? They beat my expectations. I can certainly tell you that in regards to production and deliveries. When they do something like that, it pushes all the bears back away into hibernation. Now, always there's going to be some bears in regards to Tesla. So some of them are still going to hold out for, they came in with those super strong delivery numbers, 83% growth year over year, and still phenomenal growth even on quarterly basis and everything like that, right? But they're going to say, margins. They're going to say, net income. What's their net income going to be for the quarter, right? Now, when Tesla comes in and beats all Wall Street expectations in regards to that as well, then the bears get put back into hibernation. But there's always going to be some bears because then they'll still say, well, maybe next quarter's demand's not going to be there. Oh, maybe they're going to have to lower price more. You're always going to have a certain segment of bears out there that are always going to keep pushing the can down the road and, for Tesla's great demise. That's always the way it's been for Tesla for 10 plus years now. It's always the way it probably will be, right? But some bears realize, crap, I need a cover. Okay, this isn't working out. And so I bet you any money, part of what today's price activity and part of the reason it had about a 7% move here today is because some bears went into hibernation. They said, you know what, I'm covering this short. I'm going to buy back those shares and call it a day. I'm calling it a week, a month in regards to Tesla, right? So I think that's part of it. You have, obviously, all these Wall Streeters have to start jumping over each other now to start raising their price targets, to start raising their revenue estimates, their earnings per share estimates, their delivery estimates, their production estimates, and they all have to start. That's what happens when you come in and you beat what Wall Street was expecting. They beat by over 20,000 vehicles, over 20,000. It's not a very small number, especially when you add up the average selling price of a Tesla, right? These Wall Streeters have to jump over each other left and right to bring up their targets more and more and more. You have the stock move the way it's moved. Almost all these Wall Street analysts are way behind on the stock price move. So, which means they're going to have to start jumping over each other to raise price targets. And the bullish folks on Tesla are going to have to start going price targets well over $300 now at this point in time. Even most of the bullish analysts in regards to Tesla are in the 200s for their price targets. You're not a bullish analyst if you're in the 200s. When the stock's almost approaching 300 now. If you want to be bullish on Tesla, you need to start going to the 300s, or dare I say the 400s with your 12-month price target now at this point in time. So you have that happen. The super bearish analysts in regards to Tesla, the stock's running more and more from them. The fundamental story is running more and more from them. So they got to start bringing up all their numbers and estimates. And so that's the game Tesla, as far as the stock price, the game that's going to be played here is these Wall Streeters are going to have to bring up numbers, they're going to have to bring up estimates, they're going to have to bring up stock price targets from the bearish side and the bullish side, right? Which adds more fuel to the fire for Tesla in regards to the stock price move, right? Which means essentially you could see continued momentum in the stock price for quite some time now at this point in time, up until you get into earnings. Then everybody's going to focus for earnings. It's not on revenue, because now we know deliveries, revenues, everybody kind of has expectations around that. It's going to come around two things: margins, earnings per share. It's what everybody's eyes are going to be on. If margins come in a little better than Wall Street expects, and if earnings per share comes in better than folks expect, boom, then you have your next big stock price move for the stock, and then you're talking about well over $300 in at that point in time. If that plays out that way. If margins disappoint, if earnings per share disappoint, then the bears have, fuel for their fire to say, look so what? Tesla's moving all these units. Look at their net income. Look at their earnings per share. Look at their margins. They're going down. They're doing this, and all those sorts of worries. So if we got some exciting stuff here to play out with the stock price here in the short term, but then if you're talking about the next bigger move, we need margins to come in better than expected, and we need earnings per share to come in better than expected, and then you can get this stock to go, well over $300. Now, something I thought was interesting, and when I say over 300, I'm talking about this year, right? Something I thought was interesting today is you looked at, around 120 million shares traded hands roughly here today in regards to Tesla stock, right? Average volume is 138 million shares. So at first it looks like, well, it's kind of late volume, but keep in mind today was a half day on Wall Street, right? Because tomorrow's 4th of July. So it was a half day on Wall Street. So if this was a full day on Wall Street, you could say, well, easily 200 million plus shares would have traded hands today, which is obviously significantly over average volume. But you could also say, with a lot of Wall Street not even there, a lot of Wall Street's checked out this entire week, but certainly today and tomorrow, right? So a lot of them took a long weekend here. And so there's not nearly as much trading activity that goes on prior to July 4th. It never is, okay? Especially the day before. And so a lot of folks weren't even trading the stock or anything like that today. So that still has to play out, obviously, for the remainder of the week. Now, my guess is you had a combo today of some short covering. You also probably had some retail buying today, because with how exciting the numbers were on the production side, delivery side, how much better they were than even bulls expected, you're going to have definitely some big money retail that was probably out there buying today that says, you know what, this baby's going to 300 plus and it's happening sooner rather than later. I'm going to go ahead and position more into this stock if I don't have as much as I want to have in it. Or some folks saying I haven't positioned into this one, I need a position into this one, okay? And so you still got a catch-up play for a lot of these Wall Street traders and momentum folks and swing traders, and don't be surprised if the stock continues to run for this week based upon some of those folks coming in, okay? And so that's kind of an intriguing dynamic. Now, one thing that scares me in regards to Tesla is, man, there's a lot of risk factors you have to consider in the stock market. There's a lot of them, man. I've never had to consider the two companies I have the most money invested in the public account. I never had to consider the CEOs fighting to the death against each other, okay? Maybe they're not going to fight to the death. Let's hope not. But I'm a little concerned, man. Elon and Zuckerberg, this actually looks like it's going to happen. A cage match between these guys. A cage match. I mean, we're talking about a cage match, okay? I mean, I got almost $1 million invested in these two stocks. If these guys, cause some damage to each other, I'm going to be screwed financially, man. This is not going to be a good situation. I mean, the only thing that can make this worse, because my third biggest position on the public account is Amazon. The only thing that can make this worse is if it goes into a three-way match and Bezos joins as well. Imagine that. The more I've learned about life as I've gotten older, the more I realize all men want to do is just live out their childhood fantasies. They want to get rich so they can drive the cars and do all the things that they wanted to do when they were kids but couldn't ever do, right? And they Musk and Zuckerberg and all these guys, they probably watched too much dang WWF back in the day, WCW, and they're trying to live out their childhood dreams of being a professional wrestler. I don't know what's going on, man. Whew, I'm a little concerned. Now, folks, in all seriousness, I put out two very valuable videos here in the past 24 hours on the main channel, Financial Education, okay? Check out those videos. This one is all around Tesla. The numbers, everything, very in-depth in regards to that. And in this video, I prepared this all night last night, and I recorded it this morning. How to beat the S&P 500 stock market takes you through the 7 steps on how to do it. So if you didn't get a chance to check out those videos on the main channel, definitely check out those guys. Those are well worth a watch, okay? I appreciate everybody. Thanks for being subscribed. New all-time high subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Much love, and have a great day.